Today we become part of the Montebello community and thank them for welcoming us. Now we begin a brand new page of memories that will grow as we witness a future that is positive and so realistic.
The synagogue is a house for Torahs. It's also a house for God. When we Jews build a new synagogue, we're building a house for Torah. That's why it's such a big event to move the Torahs to a new synagogue.
I would assume you took pictures of everything that we have here and showed the rest of the congregation and everybody else what was done here in relatively a short time.
Now you're here for the finished product, finally.
The weather has been terrible this winter. However, we worked between the drops and we got our foundation in just at the right time so we can put the steel up.
Well, all we can do is pray for good weather. The skies are gray, but the people are still working. As we're approaching the good season, we can sure it's going to make it a lot easier for the construction people to get their job done on time.
This is probably the first new synagogue that has been built in this general area for as many years as I can recall. The architecture is sharp, it's modern, it's in keeping with who we are today and what we are today.
It is wonderful, it's invigorating, it's exhilarating. To start and be a part of a new venture, wherever you have been, is great. And we truly, truly thank you, everyone who organized it, and we look forward to a great future.
The eastern part of the synagogue, and this is where the Torahs are going to be, and the congregation faces this eastern part of the sanctuary. And the angular walls are the outline of the sanctuary, and inside there are going to be seats. And the synagogue goes back from there. On the right side, that square area is the main entranceway where the drop-off is going to be. People are going to come in and they're going to drop off the people for services.
We feel that the congregation will grow. We need youth, we need vitality, and I think once the general public sees the building, I think they will come here and join us.
All the peoples of the world, all the peoples of this community and this county can say that they were blessed by our presence, that we had an impact, a Jewish and a human impact upon this entire community, indeed this entire county. And we can say that many, many synagogues have benefited from the children that have come from our synagogue and have taken their place in leadership all through the United States, in Israel, and in the rabbinate. We can be proud of the generations that we raised, and now we have to look forward as we lay the cornerstone to the generations that we will still raise, and to the service and the values that we will represent in all the years to come. May God bless this congregation as it has been blessed in the past. Amen.
Whatever happens before or around us, by laying a stone physically with memos and reminders of the wonderful congregation of the Monte Jewish Center and of Shaarey Israel, we lay a physical future for our building. When you take a stone and you put it down, you physically make sure that that building which will rise soon, has a start. It's truly Even Hapinah. It's a cornerstone, because everything afterwards will rise and will develop around that stone. Even Ma'asu Habonim, the stone which the builders neglected, Hayta L'Rosh Pinah. Nonetheless, that stone will become the cornerstone of the future.
Next time we'll meet you here for finished building. For completion of the building.
Danny, get to work. Get to work. Come on.
And everybody sing la la la, la 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 la.
Mazal Tov to Shaarey Israel. It was a great occasion to celebrate with the whole congregation here. I thought a groundbreaking is not enough for our shul. I suggested that we should do a cornerstone laying that is very customary in Israel for every shul that is built in Israel. We did a laying of a cornerstone for a shul that's going to have a tremendous and great future in Rockland County. There couldn't be a better committee that we have in our congregation of Shaarey Tfilah. There was a commitment. Everybody worked together. I cannot say that there was one person that didn't put his utmost time into it, and that's why it was extremely successful too. One person cannot do it alone. As it turned out, it was a great simcha here. Everybody was very impressed, and I hope people are going to be impressed, join us also to our great shul, and we think we're going to have a great future here.
Well, I'm Max Pasak. I'm the construction manager on this project, and we hope to get the project moving as quickly as we can. Starting the foundation, we had dug up about 3/4 of the perimeter of the building for the foundation walls, and the mason just arrived to start laying out his footings and his piers, and we have the structural steel already ordered. In about 6 weeks we should have the structural steel starting to get up, and it'll take about 4 weeks. So by about March 15 or thereabouts, we should have a roof on the main part of the building. Directly in front of us, where that great truck is parked, is the joint between the sanctuary and the multi-purpose room. To our left is the multi-purpose room, and further to the left will be the area for the classrooms, and right in front of us will be the kitchen area and the big parking lot right here. To the right of where that truck is standing, that's where the sanctuary is. We didn't start digging that. The reason for it is that the area in the left will have the first delivery of steel, and we want to get that prepared before the weather gets any worse. And then as soon as that's done, we will work on a foundation of the sanctuary.
I'm David Mayerfeld, architect. We've been working on this project for close to 2 years now. We had developed several conceptual designs which were referred back to the building committee in terms of what the program should be, what the size of the building should be. After that, we had appeared before the village of Montebello for planning and zoning approval, and spent a lot of time in order to get their approvals in terms of how the building was sited, how traffic was handled, how the use hours will be, in order to have minimal impact on the neighbors but still provide a community resource for the entire area. Behind me you will see the steel going up, the round shape, the arch shape follows into the main sanctuary space. And then moving over to the left, you can see the darker steel will open up to the multi-purpose room. The building is designed so that it can accommodate the usual weekend, Saturday, Shabbat services, and then can be expanded for the high holiday services by the additional spaces in the back. And additionally, there will be some provisions made for a senior program, for also in the future a possible preschool program as the community grows. The building was sited so that it fronts Montebello Road, and there will be large inviting windows and landscaping, but the building is set back from the road more than 100 feet. The concept that we used when we designed this building is what we call a shul in the park. We wanted to respect the beautiful greens and open areas of the village of Montebello. However, the traffic, the large parking, will be towards the rear of the building where we're standing right now, which faces the more commercial part of Montebello, which is, you can see, is over the Holiday Inn and the office site. There will be ease of access so that people approach the building, they can be dropped off, then cars will be towards the rear of the building. Another item that was considered was that there should be minimal impact of traffic onto Montebello Road. So during peak times, there will actually be vehicle traffic will be restricted onto Montebello Road and will all become through Executive Boulevard. We are reaching now, as you can see in front of us, that the steel structure is being erected. The gray steel is all custom designed steel, again, for the special uses. The red steel, is interesting, is a large prefabricated building structure. And we merged two types of designs together, a custom design for the very detailed sanctuary space and a standard design for the larger general spaces. At the end of the day, obviously you will not be able to tell once the building is shielded and clad together as one entity. But this was done for cost. Cost was a major concern here so that the community could put their dollars for where they belong. And wherever we could do the save construction dollars, that means that they could be used for program costs.
At this moment we're erecting the steel for the pre-engineered section of the building, which is here on this side. And on my left is the section of the sanctuary, which is the structural building that you see in gray. Where we're standing now, this is the area of the kitchen and the utility room. And further down are the classrooms to our west. To the east, of course, the sanctuary. And a little further north, where this machine is setting a column, that's where the multi-purpose room is going to be. So as soon as the steel is all up, we're going to have the plumber here, and he's going to start putting the plumbing underground so that we can pour our slab, which will include the heating coils for the radiant heat. And hopefully, right after Pesach, we should put a roof on. Electrical will be after the roof is on and the concrete floor is on. We're trying very hard to get it done for the high holidays. Well, it's a matter of everything, a lot of coordination, making sure everything is here in time. Our scheduling is worked out so that everything should become at the right time. What is that called? Critical path method. My proudest achievement. I worked in many projects, buildings from say 6 stories to 42 stories high. Maybe this will be my proudest achievement.
I would say within 3 to 4 weeks we're going to be ready for occupancy. Today the 22nd of January, and we should be ready sometimes in the middle of February. I happen to be a pusher, and I normally get things done, but it takes a lot of work, and I'm spending most of my time here. I am not attending to my business at all. I'm staying here. I want to see this completed, and the time that I promise is going to be done, you know, is going to be on target.
We're in the final stages of finishing the new building for the congregation Shaarey Israel, which of course incorporates basically two congregations, our own Monte Jewish Center with the addition of Shaarey Tefillah and a number of members of the JCC. It's a wonderful, beautiful building which we hope will be of use for many, many years to all the generations of our present and the future, and we look forward to a wonderful new beginning based on our old history of the Monte Jewish Center going back well over 40 years in this county. We are the one traditional synagogue in Rockland County. We incorporate all the traditional both customs and also services as far as tefillah, which is the actual prayers, and we are of course of service to everyone who would join us on a regular Sabbath and a weekday. So right now, as you can see all around, it looks not finished yet, but the actual sanctuary where we're standing right now is where the Sabbath services will be held. There'll be chairs, and of course we shall also read the Torah from here. Right behind me, or at least on my side, is the extension of the sanctuary, which in normal times will be used as a ballroom or as a kiddush room, which is on the Sabbath morning after the prayers. On the high holidays, this will be open to give the opportunity to increase the size of our congregation from about 250, which we have right now in this main sanctuary, to 600, 700, even 800, which we'll need later. I just went around with Ilana Kwilecki, the wife of David Kwilecki, who was of course the one who was organizing the building. We looked around, her name is Mezuzot. Mezuzot is the piece of parchment upon which are written a few of the Torah passages. Those scrolls are put on each individual door. It's a protection for us. It's mentioned in the actual Torah that you should write them and put them on the gates and the doors of your houses.
You could see, without having any lights here at all during the course of the day, there's plenty of lights here. By having big windows, a tremendous arch window up on top that inserts a tremendous amount of light into the sanctuary.
And it's a beautiful building because there's a lot of light. As you can see, there's windows everywhere. As when you enter, the sanctuary's got wonderful windows, and it's also a lot of wood. On a personal level, I've always been very partial to wood. It gives a very rich feel, and it gives really a feel of luxury and of great service to the actual congregation, the synagogue. And we look forward to not only to continue what we have done for the last 45 years, but to hopefully increase our membership and increase the service we do to the county per se.
We have the bima with stained glass that was made by an Israeli artist. The stonework that you see here is all Jerusalem stone. All came from Israel. All the tiles came from Israel. The chairs that are here, that are going to be mounted in this area here, are also produced in Israel, and they were made in a kibbutz in Israel. They are going to be installed within the next 4 days.
This is where all the Torahs are held. In other words, we have the Torah Scrolls, which are the ones which are written, the 5 books of Moses, especially written and held in great reverence by us. Some of the Torah Scrolls are quite old, written 50, maybe 100 years, yet they're all kept in good condition and reverentially. They are put in there and they're taken out on a Sabbath morning to read from the individual Torahs. Above that, you will see is something called the Eternal Light, which is called Ner Tamid, which of course is something which reminds us of all the martyrs and our own people who have passed on, and who this particular light is on all the time. That's why it's called the Eternal Light, and it's a memory of all our martyrs and all our families who have passed on and died over the years.
I don't know if I mentioned, they're going to be automated memorial board that are going to be computerized, Nobody has to tend to it or touch it. It's going to go on automatically.
We have well over 3,000 plaques in our synagogue, which people, members have put them on for over the years, over 40, 50 years, for their own members, their own parents, grandparents, and so on. And these plaques will be put on top, and these lights are actually lit on some times on the actual services, 4 times a year, when we have a very special memorial prayer. All these will be lit and read from to remember the people that have passed on. And some of them, of course, have passed on many years ago, because we're talking about parents, even grandparents of present congregational members.
Well, each board controls a column of 34 LEDs and can individually turn them on and off. You want to go see it? Sure. It's an itty-bitty little thing that controls everything. There's going to be a data file on that computer, and every day at sundown it sees who needs to be on, who needs to be off, and turns it on and off. And I can access that computer remotely should I need to over the internet.
This where you stand is the actual sanctuary, which is where the actual Sabbath prayers will be. I think it's approximately 250 seats which will come here, because on a regular Sabbath we have, of course, a smaller amount of people than we have high holidays. But as you turn around, although this will be shut off from the main sanctuary with special doors, on our holidays it opens up and seats up to 600, 700, I don't know the exact number, but certainly we have had in the past 700 and 800 members on the service. If we ever will need additional membership, additional services, we will try to do it in some of the other rooms, because we have a very substantial amount of rooms in here. We have a small sanctuary where the daily prayers are, and we're probably only about 70, 80, maybe 100 people in it, but of course it's of use actually on a daily basis, both morning and evening, for the prayer. This is really only used on the Sabbath.
We have everything here. If we have an occasion here where we have a celebration or a bar mitzvah or wedding or anything, we have all the facilities here to get our caterer the best service he could get to the people that he is serving here. Everything is here, from refrigeration, freezer, food warming equipment, convection oven, microwave ovens, coffee maker, working tables, sinks, dishwasher for dairy and meat. And this is basically going to be our main entry, a delivery entry for food supply into the kitchen. So they wouldn't have to go around. This here is the freezer. And on this side is the refrigerator. And again, we have another door coming in from the other side. This is a men's bathroom. Have you taken the pictures on it? You see it, yeah. Okay. And this is a ladies' bathroom.
This is the rabbi's room. Yeah. So yeah, it's bigger than my apartment. In New York, this is an apartment.
Yeah.
All right.
This wood came in the rough, which means it comes in, it gets cut from the tree and then it comes to me. We do get thicknesses if we order them, but that's where it stops. And all the wood has to look like it came from the same tree. This particular stuff did.
What kind of wood is that?
This is mahogany. It's a peely mahogany. They're 10 foot tall and 36 inches wide, and they're 2 3/4 inches thick. The glass is an eighth of an inch and an eighth thick. It's a thermal unit. The hinges are 6 by 6 hinges. They're giant hinges. That's why here they don't look like they're proportioned. These hinges, 6 by 6 hinges. They can carry these doors for 100 years.
Yeah. How much have the 15,000? How much are the building?
Total here?
כן. This floor.
רק על הפלור פה יש לך 20,000.
You have 20,000 square feet? Well, I think about 15.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway, the nicest part is that big Star David up there. Thank you for the guided tour.